2018 has been an interesting year all over the continent with regards to politics, agriculture, the economy and many other industries. In South Africa, many events shaped the country this year. Most notable amongst them is the resignation of former President Jacob Zuma after mounting pressure and the emergence of Cyril Ramaphosa as the president. The state capture investigation, the probe into a potentially corrupt relationship between the wealthy Gupta family and President Jacob Zuma also began this year. We also saw the trial of Pastor Motosho, the Nigerian pastor, currently on trial for rape and human trafficking. This year also saw the death of Winnie Mandela, the anti-apartheid campaigner and former wife of Nelson Mandela. Let's bring in our South Africa Bureau Chief, Betty Dibia, to discuss more on this and all that's happened this year in South Africa. Hello, Betty. Compliments of the season to you.
Thank you.
Earlier this year, February to be precise, we saw former President Jacob Zuma bowing to pressure and resigning not long after President Cyril Ramaphosa came into office. How has the country fared under his rule?
Well, I'll say he too is under pressure to perform because I recall during his inauguration in February, he promised a new dawn. But I know at this point, given the reality of a nation under construction, like so many nations, it's dawned on a lot of people that it will come with bitter pills. Remember, during this period, expectations have been tempered by those who believe that it's still the same ANC, the same policies that Zuma was governing with. We still have unemployment in double digits. We have, although there's a new job and entrepreneurship fund, you have high crime rate, you still have gender-based violence. The president was part of a number of conferences with ladies, you know, talking about the violence against women, rape and issues like that. We still have the issue of corruption within the fold of the ANC, corruption in the country. We have the economy. The country went into technical recession, although recovered. We had a recent visit by the IMF Managing Director, Christine Lagarde, who praised some of the reforms of the country and said she's quite confident in the South African Reserve Bank, the autonomy of the Reserve Bank. Then there's the land issue. The debates have started. The land issue, everybody is awaiting the January 8 statement, that's January 8, 2019, where the president will reveal the manifesto. You know, elections, you have that next year. They will hold them on to a lot of things that will be said there. What are you going to do? What you have promised, are you going to deliver within the period when you have your elections next year? So there's a lot of expectations. People are not jumping so much. All that has been tempered by the reality of the economy still in progress, economy under construction, like many of the countries around the world as well.
Well, Betty, there were a lot of court cases in the country as well, from President Zuma's corruption cases, the state capture inquiry and Pastor Motosho's trial. What more can you tell us about all this?
Well, we had a series of court cases brought against the president and some of the issues regarding the president and the issue of corruption. We had some brought to the Constitutional Court for clarity on how to interpret parts of the Constitution. In the case of President Zuma, the latest one was the issue where the court said that he indeed had to pay for, that's the High Court, that he indeed had to pay for his court battles and not the state as he had been holding on, or the privilege that had been given to him. But Zuma is not taking a line down. By the way, he just joined Twitter and is quite active on Twitter, giving video messages, especially on that issue, saying, why do I have to pay? Why are you holding double standards? If so-called anti-apartheid or apartheid killers, or I can't remember quite the word he used, were granted privileges, why not me? So he's going to challenge that in court. In the case of the Zondo Commission, that's the state capture, that is still ongoing. I know that next day it's going to continue, but we heard a number of explosive revelations regarding state capture, the undue influence of individuals on running of the state, on access to the funds of the state to execute or even not execute contracts. Of course, the Omotosho trial, we had really touching, really heartbreaking testimony by the first witness, the first state witness. But all that is still going to be tested. The defense counsel had taken the matter to the the Supreme Court of Appeal, asking the judge to recuse himself and for the charges to be quashed. Charges on human trafficking and violating or contravening the Sexual Offences Act. But that court denied all those charges. They had accused Justice Mandela Makaula of being biased, too biased to handle the case. So I think by February, that case is going to continue. So the pastor is spending his second Christmas in custody.
Well, this year saw the xenophobic killings of foreigners, especially and sadly Nigerians, massive car heists and some other crimes. The Minister of Police, Becky Sele, who was appointed in February, has promised a crackdown on criminal activities. But how has the security situation in the country improved?
Security situation, I'm afraid, I wouldn't say it's okay or it's improved, but we went through really rough periods. We had some of the terrorist-like attacks at some mosques. We had the crime levels are still high. We went through a phase of 1 or 2 daily cash in transit heists. That has reduced drastically since Minister Becky Sele, took office. I'm not giving him the credit, but the police is doing quite a lot. Crime figures at home, hijackings, they're not really reduced at the moment. Coming down to the end of the year, we have, but it was worse than before. It's worse. It was worse at a point. Let me put it that way. But crime figures, even domestic violence, domestic crimes is still at a high level. Rape, gender-based violence is still quite high. A murder, mind-blowing scenes that you see where in a particular case, an accused, somebody in custody at the moment was accused of killing 7 members of a family. And every day you hear people are being dropped on the street and tied up, shot at point-blank range. So crime levels is still quite worrying in the country.
It's really a sad situation, Betty. Thank you so much for joining us, and Happy New Year in advance.
Thank you. You too.